Hello, I'm Amber and I'm going to tell you why I love my mom. And at the end, I'm going to tell you how this pullover, which I'm currently wearing, symbolizes my love for her. So, this video is a Hobbit-style birthday gift, which, for the Tolkien fans of you, you might know, means instead of taking, I'm aiming to give. In this case, I'm aiming to give a lot of love to my mom, to all the moms out there, actually, to moms of disabled people, because raising a disabled kid is hard. It has a lot of hardships, and you all deserve love, appreciation, and a lot of just people seeing you and seeing what you're doing, because you're doing a lot, and that means very, very much. Anyhow, so I'm going to give it to all the other moms out there too, because everyone is struggling at some point. No child is raised without any issues, and you're all of those of you who are raising your children with love, no matter how much you struggle, I just want you to know that it matters to me, that it matters maybe not to your children right now, maybe they are too young to understand, or not mature enough, or I don't know, but it matters. It matters a lot. Anyhow, so about my mom. I'm going to tell this in stories because I think that's actually easier to do. So, I am disabled. I have a visual impairment, which means when I was a baby, the doctors didn't know I was disabled actually. My mom was the first to realize, and she told the doctors, and they didn't believe her, but she saw it. She saw it when nobody else saw it, which is the first thing that means a lot. Because that means she paid attention. So after weeks of nobody believing her, someone did. I was 7 weeks old at that point. And then the hell started. So I had my first surgery when I was 7 weeks old. Thankfully, I don't remember it, but my mom does, because she was there every step of the way, every hard step that I don't even remember, but that were very, very much important. If my mom hadn't stepped up and insisted on the doctors looking again and again and again, nobody would have noticed that something was off, and nobody could have stopped what was happening. And yeah, I'm nearly blind now, but the point is, I'm nearly blind now. I don't have much vision left, but I do have some. And the point is, I would not have had any if my mother hadn't stepped in when she had. So that means a lot. She saw it when nobody else saw, and she fought for me when I was too young to do it myself. So then that was only the first step, of course. Then more and more surgeries came, more tests, more and more tests. Oh my gosh, so many tests. They wanted to figure out why, what was wrong. She got blamed in between, turned out wrong. In the end, they realized my mom was just at the wrong place at the wrong time while she was pregnant. I wouldn't have had any illness in the first place. I'm genetically totally fine. We were just unlucky. Yeah. And they wanted to narrow it down even further. They did narrow it down a bit more. They could have probably figured out the exact reason. They've narrowed it down to 2 most likely. But the point was, I was a baby, and my mom said, no, this is my baby. I'm not going to let you do more tests. She has gone through enough already. She will probably go through even more, and she said stop. And that means a lot, because I mean, they could have figured out what was wrong. They could have realized it, but it wouldn't have changed anything. It couldn't have been made any differently at this point. And she prevented further suffering that was not necessary on my part. And I'm very, very grateful for that. I love her a lot for that. And all right, so that was the start of it. Then when I grew older, The medication couldn't be organized. It had delivery issues for other disabled people out there, or for their parents or families, or even people with illnesses, you know. That happens. That sucks, but it happens. It happens way too often. But I was a special case, and being a special case sucks in that regard that there is no other solution. There is no easy fix for special cases. I'm fascinating to doctors. They always, oh my gosh, that's so interesting. But there's no quick fix. And so when the medication wasn't available, my mom could have given up. Many parents would have, but she didn't. She talked to people, she talked to the people that those recommended. She was on the phone, she wrote mails, or I don't know actually if at that point mails were so common. I think she actually wrote letters, I don't know. Not my time frame because I was a baby, you know. But point is, she spent a lot of time researching. At the point, it was still the old-fashioned way, you know. She read a lot of books. She went to supervision. She went to people asking questions. She spent so much time with this. She invested so much time and love and care, because she really cared. She really cares even now. And she fought for me when I was too young to do it myself. And that matters. It always matters when someone tries, you know. I mean, even if it wouldn't have worked, if it failed, it still would have mattered, because she loved me and she gave it her all. And that's all anyone can ask for, you know. Anyway, in her case, she actually managed to organize the medication. It had delivery issues over and over, don't get me wrong, but she found solutions. Over and over she found solutions. And yes, my illness still progressed, but not as fast as it would have if she hadn't put all this time in, all this care in, all this love in, all the investment that is just not something you can expect of someone. It's so much more. It's endlessly important, and it matters. So now then I grew and I wanted to go to school, and they didn't want me. You know, it shouldn't be like this, but to be honest, it often is. If you have a disability, you're unwanted. Really shouldn't be the case, but it is the case. Someone who was in charge back then told my mother, literally, our hometown should keep the trash themselves. The trash is me. That was me when I was 6 years old. I was the trash because I was disabled. Well, you can imagine my mother wasn't happy about this, and she didn't let it slide. She, I don't know if she got angry, I have no idea, but I'm quite sure she got indignant. She's still talking about it today because, no, you don't talk about my child like this. And that's so cool. Honestly, it's so amazing. You gotta love a person like that, because she wasn't like, oh, I will meekly agree. She was like, that's my child, you're calling it trash here. That's awesome. Awesome. I cannot describe it any differently. It's just so great. Anyway, so in the end, I got to go to school. And that means a lot to me. It meant endlessly much to me. And so I went to school, and even then, I will explain it with an object again. I loved learning, actually. I was one of these weird kids who liked to learn, who liked to study, who's always buried in a book, which I could read thanks to my mom, because otherwise I couldn't have seen, you know? So I could learn and study so much because she gave it her all. So I love her for that too, because she gave me the opportunity to read, the opportunity to get to read books, because books were my everything. They're still my everything. I cannot read them now, but I sometimes like to touch them, just have them in my hand, smell them. It's so ridiculous, I know, but it's just such a cherished childhood memory. And it's possible thanks to her. And nowadays I read in other ways. I listen to audiobooks. That's still books. It's not quite the same, but it's books, and it was possible thanks to her. I could discover this love thanks to her. She gave me books. She read them to me. She told me so many childhood stories. She was there, you know. That means something. That means a lot. Anyhow, so when I was a child in school, I got a book from her, a self-made one. It was so cool. I mean, it's not like a fancy book, of course not, but it was basically, it was just pages stuck together. But I'm actually sad I cannot find it, but on it was how to multiply. She wrote there, 1 x 1 is 1. And she went up there to 10 x 10 is 100 and stuff like that, you know. And I love this book. It means so much. Not because the content is so interesting. I mean, nowadays you can look it up in the internet. But back then, no. Even now, it was something she made herself. She put her heart in it. She gave it to me. My mom gave it to me so I could learn better. And because I was one of these weird kids who liked to learn, that was so amazing. That was so cool. I think other kids wouldn't have found it so cool, but I found it so amazing. It was love from my mother in the form of a book, and I love it. Anyway, and then I grew older, and she still was by my side, and she was there for me always. I mean, we argue a lot. We have very different opinions and we fight. But the thing is, I know she will always be there for me, no matter how much we fight, how much we argue. She will always come back, and that's the thing that counts. We don't have to agree on everything. I never expected that. That's okay. She's a different person. We're very, very different. But I know she loves me, and that matters. That matters so much. Yeah. Anyway, before it gets more embarrassing, I'm going to tell you about the objects. So, if it works out, I'm not sure if it will work out. You saw as a thumbnail and a painting. If you didn't, I'm going to describe it to you, because video editing is hard with a disability, and so I'm just going to describe it to you. So, the painting, or I don't know if it's painted, doesn't matter. It's a cat, a black cat with green eyes, and it's in a forest. And from the right side on the bottom, a woman or girl, I don't know, in a dress comes up into the forest. My mother calls it the guardian of the forest. I have no idea if that's actually the name. It does not matter. Thing is, I wanted a painting, a picture, whatever, of a black cat with green eyes. Turns out that's way harder than I thought. Cats usually have yellow eyes on paintings for whatever reason. It's very uncommon for them to have green ones. No idea why. Anyway, she spent months in between searching for one. I think that was so frustrating for her, and I'm quite sure she nearly gave up a lot of times, but she did not. She put her everything in it, and she found one, and that's just so like her. And I'm so proud of that painting. Not because it's the black cat with the green eyes. I mean, that's cool. Don't get me wrong, that's super cool. But because it means my mom loves me. Or for me, it means that, and that's why it's one of my most cherished pictures, actually. And it has a place of honor for me anyway. So, in case you didn't see this, you're going to see the pullover. It's probably covered in cat fur, I assume. And that's because my mother gave it to me to shield me from the fur of our cat, because she knows me very well and she knew I'm going to cuddle the cat. It is not preventable, because I love cats. I love my cat. I love all cats actually. I generally love animals. And so she knew I would cuddle her. And to protect me from all the fur getting on my clothes, she gave me one of hers. And that actually symbolizes the love of my mom to me. because when I was a child, she was the shield that protected me from circumstances I could not change as a babe. She was there to give me sight, actually, in the most literal sense of the word. And she gave me this pullover to protect me from the fur, to shield me, like she protected me from the extra tests as a child, like she protected me whenever she could. And that's one of the main reasons I love my mom. Not the only one, but I love her. And I'm going to openly admit it here. And I'm doing this in the most public way I can because I think she deserves to know. The world deserves to know, and the world deserves to know how much disabled mothers, or generally mothers, do for their children. If you want, you can put your own stories in the comments why you love your moms, because I think it would be good if you told them. Even if it's not to their face, not everyone can do that. I don't know if I'm daring enough to show my mom this video, because yes, kind of embarrassing, but I think it means a lot. And all the moms out there, you are incredible, you're great, and your love matters.